And we start with the fallout from the war of words between President Donald Trump and his once trusted ally, Elon Musk. The two traded insults and accusations on social media yesterday. At one point, Musk claimed the president would not have won the 2024 presidential election without his help. Then he further escalated the tension by alleging the president is named in the Jeffrey Epstein files. The reaction to all of this, as you can imagine, is pouring in. Here is the cover of the New York Post today. It reads, "I hate my ex." Okay. Our CBS News chief Washington analyst Robert Costa spoke to the president over the phone this morning. He joins us now. Good morning. Good afternoon, rather, to you, Robert. And I think this is the first time I've seen you on 24/7. So thank you so much for joining us. What did the president say about his relationship with Elon Musk right now?
Good to be with you. When I spoke with President Trump earlier Friday, it was evident that he was shrugging off this entire episode. Yes, it's playing out in a pretty dramatic way on social media and in public view. But he said, "I'm totally focused on my presidency." And when I pushed him, I said, "Well, there's a lot of people talking about this. How are you going to handle it?" He said, "I don't focus on anything else except what I'm focusing on with the economy." He talked about his high standing in the polls as he sees it. He talked about his view of the economy being in a strong position. So he was articulating a very positive view of this crossroads at this point in his term, despite everything that's unfolding with Elon Musk.
Yeah, but I have to ask, how are the president's supporters and the president's team, how are they all responding to this feud?
There's some anger about Musk taking on President Trump. Earlier today, I also spoke with Steve Bannon, the former chief White House strategist, and he told me that it's time for President Trump to investigate Musk, to look into his citizenship, whether he has proper citizenship status as someone who became a U.S. citizen after originally being a citizen of South Africa. He said that President Trump should investigate allegations that have been reported in the New York Times and elsewhere that Musk engaged in drug use while working on different federal issues like DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. And Bannon said those allegations are a national security concern. So you have people who are close to the president really telling Trump to not just kind of move on, but to take on Musk.
And speaking of that, we are showing this on the screen right now because Musk just posted on X saying that Bannon is a criminal. But I also need to ask about this because there are reports that Musk actually wants a phone call with President Donald Trump. So do you see any path forward for the two of them after what happened yesterday?
Oh, sure. And Steve Bannon is a microcosm of how this could play out in the sense that in 2017, you might recall, Steve Bannon was the high-flying chief strategist, and then he was on the outs with President Trump. He was fired, or he left the White House, depending on whom you ask. And he was on the outskirts, in the wilderness, politically speaking, for a long time. Then he, of course, now is a close ally of the White House and friendly with President Trump. So with President Trump, someone I've covered for a long time, have interviewed many times, relationships are fluid. They have ups and downs. He's always judging in the moment. He's not always lingering on a past grudge, so we could see this evolve.
All right. I guess we will wait and see what happens next. Robert Costa, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it.